Hello and welcome everybody once again to Reign of Chaos Wrestling RCW StrikeZone. We are coming to you live tonight from Anchorage, Alaska. Another exciting night of action we've got for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Here tonight we do have indeed in our main event, for the RCW Twitch TV Championship. Dolph Ziggler will be defending his title against Kevin Owens in a Falls Count Anywhere match for the Twitch TV title, a rematch from their first encounter at Overtime, which ended in a count-out championships advantage for Dolph Ziggler. We're going to kick off tonight's action with the Viper, Randy Orton, taking on the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. I haven't seen Randy Orton in any kind of good intentions or matches lately. Been taking losses almost left and right from Sami Zayn in the past. The Viper wants to continue his pursuit for championship gold here in Reign of Chaos Wrestling. But of course, Randy has to be perfect to challenge the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. One of the more beloved superstars in the RCW universe. The Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. We shall see in moments if jet lag is going to have any kind of effect on all of our superstars here on Reign of Chaos Wrestling as we're coming to you live from Anchorage. The RCW universe firmly behind Ty Dillinger as he faces off against the Viper, Randy Orton, for the first time ever. And Randy with a suplex out of the gate to Ty Dillinger, knocking out the ref temporarily. The ref back in it. And now Randy working on any kind of part of Ty that he can find and expose it. Ty with a European uppercut counter. Snapmare takedown. Into the face buster from Ty Dillinger. And now Ty working the legs of Randy Orton. Smart strategy on the part of Dillinger. Coming up empty off the drop kick. Randy swing over DDT. as precise as ever from the Viper. Now Ty able to shake off Orton, at least for the moment, as Randy sweeps the legs of Ty Dillinger and goes right back on the attack. As Randy might be looking to put this match away here properly. Maybe. Possibly, maybe. Ty Dillinger with a backbreaker. Rolling senton from Ty Dillinger off the apron. Randy again sweeping the legs of Dillinger. And now focusing on the back. Again, anything that Randy can find, he's going to expose it. Into the ropes goes Randy. Ty Dillinger with a drop kick to the Viper, the 13-time world champion. Also, there's got to be another big upset if Ty Dillinger can beat Randy Orton here tonight. Into the cover goes Dillinger, and Orton kicks out, because we've seen Sami Zayn in the past beat Randy Orton. We'd have to definitely mess with the psyche as Randy goes for another swing over DDT. Mess with the psyche of Randy Orton, that he gets beat by two upstarts if he does get beat here tonight against Ty Dillinger. And Randy with an uppercut. Nasty as they come. Another crowd here in Anchorage behind Randy Orton. And now that vintage backbreaker from the Viper. And Randy just staring down Dillinger with a cold, calculated stare. Another snapmare takedown from Ty Dillinger. Again, coming up empty off the drop kick. And Randy able again to counter that version of the angle slam. As he pulls Dillinger from the ropes. Stomps on every appendage. And now Randy's setting up Dillinger. Dillinger may be perfect, but it takes one. RKO. Randy into the cover on Dillinger here. And Randy pins Ty Dillinger in our opening contest. Great effort on the part of Ty Dillinger, but for Randy Orton, he is in a league all of his own. When you face a 13-time world champion like Randy Orton, you can only expect the same result. Randy Orton continuing to do what he does best, which is strike out of nowhere and put enemies down to the mat for a three. Coming up next, we have American Alpha and some tag team action, as well as a possible new tag team formation here in RCW of Kane and Samoa Joe, but we're going to see just how well those two can work as a team here momentarily. And making their way to the ring is American Alpha, the former SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. Were then beat by the Usos after an attitude change by the Usos on a SmackDown episode of SmackDown Live. American Alpha has always been a top contender here in RCW in the tag team division. Well, let's see if they can put an end to a new team is rumored to be happening here in RCW of Kane and Samoa Joe. And here comes Samoa Joe, the former TNA World Champion, Tag Team Champion, a very decorated champion is Samoa Joe. He's even the inaugural RCW Twitch TV Champion back in October at the Autumn Rumble pay-per-view in a Fatal 4-Way. Against the likes of Randy Orton, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins. Samoa Joe is the underdog in that Fatal 4-Way, but he came out the victor and the inaugural champion. Since then, Samoa Joe's renewed a rivalry with the likes of Seth Rollins in the past. But tonight he's in tag team action with a man who's just as dangerous as he is. And that would be the Big Red Monster, Kane. Kane, a long-standing veteran in WWE and the business in general and professional wrestling, and Kane being a multiple-time tag team champion, he knows what it means to be in a tag team. Kane, of course, also achieved singles success as a former Intercontinental Champion in his own right, and a two-time World Champion, winning the WWE and the World Heavyweight Championship in his career. Let's see how well a formidable team takes on the team of monsters. As Jason Jordan starts to feel out Samoa Joe with the belly to back takedown, excuse me. And the strength and power of Jason Jordan as he lifts up Samoa Joe and sends him crashing to the ground. And Samoa Joe, a punch to the gut. Here to neutralize Jason Jordan. Exploder suplex from Samoa Joe. Joe, also a very accomplished striker, as you saw right there with the right hand. And Jason Jordan with a drop kick to Samoa Joe. As Jordan makes his way to the apron here. Sides against it. Walk back inside the ring. And Joe with a counter and an elbow and a belly to belly. And nearly 300-pounder Samoa Joe as he makes the tag to the Big Red Monster, Kane. And of course, Samoa Joe, also a two-time NXT champion. And Jason Jordan just avoiding the big boot from Kane. And Jordan making a tag to Gable as prior Jordan attacked the leg of Kane. And Kane with a spinebuster to Chad Gable. And Kane, another, like a double-handed choke slam to Chad Gable. Both Kane and Samoa Joe are very accomplished strikers in their repertoire, and they can grapple with the best of them. So can Chad Gable, a former Summer Olympian back in 2002. Placed silver in Greco-Roman wrestling. And Chad Gable able to fight out of the power bomb there, possibly from Kane. Crucifix takedown on the big man. Not only is this good experience for a new tag team for Kane and Joe, it's also a big test for the formal team of American Alpha to take on a man almost twice their size and a man twice as heavy. These two monsters, these two Goliaths, doing battle against American Alpha. Kane with the waist lock. Jason Jordan with the elbows to the side of the head. And Kane almost looking for a belly to belly. And Jordan able to counter it. Front face lock into the ropes. And Jason Jordan looking for a belly to belly. Barely. The feat of strength of Jason Jordan. Barely to hit the belly to belly to Kane. Oh my God. And the running shoulder tackle from Jason Jordan into the belly to belly with ease. The big red monster. And now American Alpha searching for great amplitude. Chad Gable into the cover. As Jason Jordan was looking to stop Joe, but Joe, quick as a cat as they come, able to get around the referee and Jordan. Now Gable into the cover on Kane, and Kane survives. The time that Joe might have bought them, save up the match. Kane's out. And again, Kane in the corner, fights out with a right elbow. Kane might have been looking for a tombstone pile driver. Inverted DDT by Chad Gable into the cover. And Joe again breaking up the pin. This is a very exciting matchup here between American Alpha and the new team of Kane and Samoa Joe. And a butterfly, or like almost a suplex into the armbar. Chad Gable got the armbar on Kane. But Kane with that big stature able to fight out. And Chad Gable taking down the big man. Again in the corner where Kane does not want to be. Another great amplitude to the big red monster as the ref is again distracted by Samoa Joe. I don't think the ref even knows that there's a pin going on in the other corner. Now Jordan in the cover. And Kane again kicking out of the great amplitude. And we've got Mike Chioda officiating this matchup. Kane, the power slam to Jason Jordan. Kane going up top. What is Kane thinking here? Going for that roll through clothesline from the top rope goes Kane. That is a very vintage Kane maneuver. Kane, choke slam up and down to Jason Jordan. Into the cover goes Kane. And Kane almost got the pin as Joe makes a save to throw out Chad Gable out of the ring. That was very, very close to put away the former SmackDown Live Tag Champs. Kane was going corner to corner. The vintage sidewalk slam, excuse me, from Kane. And Kane in that submission, putting the glove right down the gullet of Jason Jordan, the ref there, making sure it's not a choke. Otherwise, Jason Jordan's out, ladies and gentlemen. No, Jordan, he's fighting. Jason Jordan fighting out of the chokehold. So he lays down the right hands to Kane. Now Jordan in the cover on Kane. And Joe able to break up the pin. Great tag team action here in RCW. Debuting team versus American Alpha. Kane and Samoa Joe. Kane has been in this matchup for quite a while. He's looking to deliver another choke slam to Jason Jordan. Straight to hell and back into the cover goes Kane. And Jordan again able to survive the choke slam. The big heart on this kid. American Alpha has that never say die attitude. Ref into the cover now. And Kane able to still survive up in this match. Both these men need to make tags to their partners because both those men are evenly spent. As now Jordan makes a tag to Gable. But Kane needs to make a tag to Joe immediately. As Chad Gable ascends to the top rope. Wise maneuver by Kane to roll out of the way. But maybe not exactly where Kane wanted to be with the missile drop kick. Kane another running power slam. Now makes the tag to Samoa Joe, the Destroyer. And that might be all that we needed to see. Joe with the hand to the throat to signal that it's over. The full Nelson Northern Lights suplex from Samoa Joe. Now Joe might be looking for a slam there. Avoids the cutter. And Chad Gable with a missile drop kick. And here comes Jason Jordan off the tag. Pulling the dead weight of Samoa Joe away from the ropes into the cover. And Joe with immediate kick out. Joe has not been able to get out of the block since making the tag to his partner Kane. And now the ref's out of it again. As they both go for a suplex to Samoa Joe, double team. Now the ref into the covers. Jordan takes care of Kane. And Joe still able to kick out. What a hell of a matchup this is here on StrikeZone in the RCW. Chad Gable looking for a suplex to Joe. Joe with a counter with a right hand. Now Samoa Joe with the splashing into the enziguri to Chad Gable. And this could be all but over for American Alpha. As Joe goes for inverted powerbomb there. And Joe back on the attack on Chad Gable. Missing the kick. Now Chad Gable suplex in to the bridge cover. And Joe able to get the shoulder up. These teams are spent and they're putting it all in the middle of the ring. Where Joe doesn't want to be. This is a fourth grand amplitude. And Joe still able to fight the fourth grand amplitude in this matchup. As Jason Jordan went back into the cover on Samoa Joe. Jason Jordan able to fight out of the waistlock position, coming up empty off the drop kick. Right hand and a spear looked like from Jason Jordan. Never seen that out of Jason Jordan, a spear. Joe wisely fighting out of the American Alpha's corner. As he hits him with a stun gun there. To Jason Jordan. Now repeated kicks to the head of Jason Jordan from Samoa Joe. And a kick to the gut from Samoa Joe. The Destroyer Samoa Joe. Oh my God, Joe with a muscle buster to Jason Jordan. This is how Joe won the NXT Championship. Is he going to win this tag match here? And he does for Tim and Kane. Defeats American Alpha. This match was as back and forth as they come. My God. Hell of a matchup. Would not put anything away from these tag teams. Would not take anything away. Hell of a matchup, boys. It's like a strong alliance and formation from Joe and Kane. As they may be the newest threat to the tag team division here in RCW, and is sending a message to the tag champs. Coming up next, we got some women's action. We got the former RCW Women's Champion Sasha Banks in action against Alexa Bliss. Coming up next. And here comes the two-time SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss, RCW's 5-foot Spitfire. Alexa Bliss looking to go one-on-one with Sasha Banks. And if Alexa Bliss does beat Banks here, gotta be serious contention for Asuka's Women's Championship. If Alexa Bliss can beat the former champion here tonight. I'm also being told right now by co-general managers Edge and Christian that Sasha Banks has elected to invoke her rematch clause in her contract, so at RCW anything goes. She will get a championship rematch against Asuka in 2 weeks' time. At RCW, anything goes. But here comes the boss, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks winning the RCW Women's Championship back in February at RCW Hell on Earth. The triple threat match against Charlotte and the champ Nikki Bella. Sasha would then go on to defend and retain her title at RCW Final Bell in a fatal four-way ladder match for the Women's Championship. That was a hellacious contest. That fatal four-way. And then at overtime, #1 contender Asuka would beat Sasha Banks in a submission match to become the new and current RCW Women's Champion. And Sasha Banks already a former 3-time WWE Women's Champion. Over on Monday Night Raw, and Bliss a 2-time SmackDown Live Women's Champion. So we've got very prestigious champions in their own right in the women's divisions on the respected brands. But here in Reign of Chaos Wrestling, there's only one brand. And Sasha Banks is just taking it to Alexa Bliss. The champ Asuka, indeed later on in action tonight, she's going to be taking notes as to what she has to expect against Sasha Banks. And anything goes. A facebuster from Alexa Bliss. Wheelbarrow facebuster. Arm drag. You know, just a plain old slap to the face to Sasha Banks from Bliss. There ain't nothing pretty about it. It's just functional. Hurricane Rana. Now Alexa working on Sasha Banks. I don't know what maneuver can see that exactly with the camera angle. The Bliss again, a face buster, and almost into a small package. Now Banks with a face buster of her own, the double knees. Taking down Bliss. And Sasha running enziguri to the back of the head of Bliss. Now Sasha with the Rigori special, or the Romero special. So Alexa Bliss. And Bliss with the smaller frame, able to get out of the submission. Empty off the kick. Inverted DDT from Sasha Banks. Just whipping Bliss's head right into the mat. Again, nothing pretty about it. Just sure as hell is effective. And Bliss able to shake off Bliss. Or Banks, rather. The kitchen sink. Kitchen sink knee right to the gut of Banks. Right hand and then a bulldog from Alexa Bliss to Sasha. Well, Sasha might have been looking for the bank rubber, the bank save in there, but Alexa Bliss was able to intercept it. And now Bliss might have been playing some mind games or rethinking her thought process for a running strike off the apron. Sasha with a high knee to Alexa Bliss as Banks rolls back inside the ring. A count of 4 now from the referee. Now Bliss is back inside the ring. And Sasha again might be looking for Banks statement or the bankrupt. Coming up empty. Bliss top rope. Twisted Bliss from Alexa Bliss into the cover. And Sasha kicks out at 1 out of Twisted Bliss. And Sasha, or Bliss, almost cannot believe it. Dragon Screw takeover. Takedown from Sasha Banks. And now Sasha with the bankrupt. Into the cover on Bliss now. And Bliss able to kick out and survive to continue on in this matchup. Now Sasha with the knees into the bank statement, and Bliss has nowhere to go. She's close enough to a corner but far away from the ropes, and Bliss has no choice but to tap out. And Sasha Banks with a big win to build toward anything goes in her rematch for the Women's Championship against Asuka. You see the closing moments, Bliss forcing to tap out to the bank statement. Coming up next, a matchup that we here at Reign of Chaos Wrestling have been knowing that this is going to happen at some point, just did not think it was going to be now. Bray Wyatt taking on Luke Harper in one-on-one action. Bray Wyatt, the unstoppable force, or excuse me, the Eater of Worlds, the former RCW Twitch TV champion, the inaugural World Heavyweight champion. Last week defeated AJ Styles. But now he goes one-on-one with his former Wyatt family brother and Luke Harper. Harper has also just been a man on a mission. Has only lost 3 times in his career in singles action here in RCW against Cesaro, Finn Balor, and AJ Styles. But now these two behemoths with train rides of momentum collide in one-on-one action. Knowing that both of these competitors know each other like the back of their hands, I'm sure they're not afraid to hold anything back. Spent their entire careers together in NXT and in WWE, Harper and Wyatt. And if Harper can beat Wyatt here, serious title contentions have to be looming in the back of the minds of general managers Edge and Christian. If Harper can beat Wyatt here tonight. Two completely different paths here in RCW, but they collide. At one point it was due that they were going to collide in one-on-one action. Here we go. Harper out of the gate with a sidewalk slam, now taking it to Wyatt. Again, these two are not going to be afraid to pull out any punches. Suplex there, belly to back suplex from Harper. And now Harper just owning his master, or once formerly was his master, Bray Wyatt. Now Wyatt swing over DDT to Harper. And he goes right to a submission move. Modified surfboard, just yanking the jaw, the beard of Luke Harper. Now Harper just wanted to stomp the life out of Wyatt. Into the ropes. Looking for a flapjack possibly from Harper, but Wyatt able to counter it into a DDT and a hard lariat from Luke Harper. Counter after counter. Again, these two know each other so well. Wyatt was looking for a side body drop, and Harper turned it into a cross body. And an elbow to the black heart of Wyatt from Luke Harper. His own side suplex from Harper to Wyatt. Wyatt taking him down, sweeping the legs. Wyatt again just wearing down the head and neck of Luke Harper. Play some more mind games with Harper. Now Wyatt delivering elbows to the collarbone of Luke Harper. No. Harper able to take down Wyatt. And just grabbing him by the collarbone and throwing him across the ring goes Wyatt. Harper might have been looking for the discus clothesline there. Coming up empty. Harper able to shake off the suplex into the uppercut. Another elbow to the black heart of Wyatt. Wyatt raking the eyes of Harper. Into the spin out gutbuster. And now Wyatt running senton. It's a sign of things to come. You're in the ring with Bray Wyatt. And now Wyatt looking to stalk his former protege. Luke Harper with the spider walking and reintroducing him to Sister Abigail. To Luke Harper, into the cover. And Harper kicks out of Sister Abigail on a count of 1. Again, Harper knows Wyatt like the back of his hand. Hit him with the big boot from Luke Harper. These two behemoths were due to clash. And boy, as hell are they ever. Harper with the big boot, knocking Wyatt a bit unconscious. And Wyatt with a running elbow. We saw the big boot from Harper. Now he just needs to deliver. The big kitchen sink knee and then the discus clothesline, and it's all over. Well, one of these two has to deliver the final blow. We've already seen Sister Abigail to Luke Harper, and it completely unfazed Harper as he kicked out at 1. And it might be here and now. Harper looking to put away Wyatt with the discus clothesline. Harper into the cover on Wyatt. And Harper, my God, he beats Bray Wyatt. Another world champion that Harper can etch into his stone tablet of world champions that he has beaten. My God. Very few men are able to stop Harper. But the fact of the matter that Wyatt, his former mentor, cannot stop Harper. Again, only 3 men have beaten Harper, but my God. Harper controlling the locker room of RCW. As we take a moment to give a bit of a mental reset, we're going to hear from co-general manager Edge in regards to a couple of matches for RCW's next pay-per-view. Anything goes. What's going on, Anchorage, Alaska? I'm here to confirm some of the matchups that you will see in RCW. Anything goes. First off, for the World Heavyweight Championship, it will be contested. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. It will be in the tables, ladders, and chairs match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And also, since Sasha Banks has invoked her rematch clause for the Women's Championship, that title will now be defended at overtime in a no-holds-barred contest. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy those announcements and look forward to those as much as I do for overtime, for anything goes. More importantly, I hope you guys enjoy the main event, Falls Count Anywhere for the Twitch TV title. Edge, one of the innovators of the tables, ladders, and chairs match, indeed confirming after what Balor came out here last week, saying that his rematch would be in a TLC match. And Edge comes out to confirm that it will be a tables, ladders, and chairs match for the RCW World Championship. And a new announcement, the women's title will be no holds barred. And speaking of the women's championship, Asuka is in action. What's going on, Rev? It has been a while. Making her way to the ring, Alicia Fox, the former Divas champion in her own right. Going in one-on-one with our RCW Women's Champion, Asuka. Of course, Asuka winning the RCW Women's Championship 2 weeks ago in a submission match against the former champ, Sasha Banks. And of course, Asuka would like to hold on to that championship as long as she can. The former NXT Women's Champion, the longest reigning champion in NXT history and in almost WWE history. Getting closer to beating Goldberg's undefeated streak. Whereas Asuka, one of the more dangerous women in the RCW locker room. Don't let the eyes and the smile fool you. Asuka means all business. Alicia Fox looking for some sort of strike, coming up empty. And Asuka with a leg drop on the arm of Alicia Fox. And Fox to the face buster, looking for a roundhouse kick. Asuka able to avoid the back body drop. And then the counter from Alicia. And then a DDT from Fox to Asuka. Champ's in trouble. In a spinning sidewalk slam from Alicia Fox to Asuka. As Alicia Fox is just taking it to Asuka right now. And a hard knee from Asuka to Fox. And these two going counter after counter. And a face buster from Fox to Asuka. Asuka having a little bit of trouble here getting out of the gates. Goes for a series of kicks. Just like Daniel Bryan, the former WWE champion. Into the corner goes Fox from Asuka. Asuka taking too much time, and Alicia Fox took advantage with that giant roundhouse kick. Oh my God. Knocking Asuka for a loop. And Asuka able to shake off the cobwebs and go back on the attack with strikes of her own. My God. Now Asuka with the knee bar onto Alicia Fox. Fox is close to the ropes. And using those long legs of hers into her advantage to break out of the leg bar. And the quick agility of Asuka. Back on the attack, high knee. And Asuka spinning back kick into the hip bump. Into the cover. And Alicia Fox still surviving, but she may not be for much longer. As the crowd here in Anchorage knows what she's going to do next. Asuka looking and setting up for the Asuka lock. To Alicia Fox, there it is. Had to get the legs around the waist. As Alicia Fox taps out to the Asuka lock. With all respect to Sasha Banks in her matchup earlier on tonight against Alexa Bliss, Asuka beat Alicia Fox, I believe, in almost record time. Got straight down to the point. Slap on the Asuka lock. And it's all over. Granted, submissions were the name of the game. Back at overtime in a submission match, but with that quick time, who's going to argue with Asuka? Coming up next, another step or continuation in this, what was going to be a short-lived rivalry between Seth Rollins and Chris Jericho. Seth Rollins, the new RCW heavyweight champion, after defeating Finn Balor at overtime off a frog splash, but Rollins goes one-on-one once again with also the former and longest reigning RCW heavyweight champion, Chris Jericho. These two first collided back before overtime. But after final bell in a ladder match, Chris Jericho's rematch clause and Rollins' #1 contendership at final bell were both up for grabs in a ladder match, and Rollins would climb the ladder and secure the briefcase to earn #1 contendership, or retain it rather, to face Balor at overtime for the World Championship. And Chris Jericho, a bona fide Hall of Famer, a 5 or 6-time world champion, record-setting 9-time Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team, United States. Name any title, Jericho's won it. Of course, he's also the inventor of the Money in the Bank ladder match. And Jericho, a former RCW World Heavyweight Champion. And then, of course, last week, Seth Rollins turned his back on the RCW universe, saying that he never needed their support. He just needed his own support. And there you see the RCW World Heavyweight Championship around the waist of Rollins. Again, after defeating Balor, and what was a shocking finish, a 5-star frog splash off the corner rope onto Balor to win the title. A very unprecedented turn of events from overtime. But now Rollins has to pay attention after co-general manager Edge came out and made a confirmation that Rollins will indeed defend his championship at Anything Goes in 2 weeks against Finn Balor in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. As Rollins and Jericho look to go one-on-one one more time. Collar and elbow tie-up, and then the side headlock from Seth Rollins. Laying down a cheap right hand to the head of Jericho, and Jericho's firing all cylinders. Into the brain buster. And an elbow to the chest of Rollins. Rollins still able to counter in a running high knee. Jericho swing over neck breaker. Whoa, Rollins with a neck breaker of his own. My God. Well, the hell of a matchup this match has been. We're just getting started with this matchup. Hell of a sequence. Now Rollins DDT to Jericho. And Jericho able to catch the kick in the Dragon Screw takedown. Jericho stomping the arm of Seth Rollins. Springboard, Phoenix Splash coming up empty from Rollins. Jericho rolls out of the way. Of course, Jericho knows about springboard maneuvers as a lion salt. Oh boy, surfboard. Stretch there from Jericho to Rollins. Rollins into a crossbody pin, kick out. In the ropes again. from Jericho. Sling blade from Rollins. Rollins middle rope. Phoenix splash coming up empty again. Jericho knows what happened at overtime. And he's not going to give Rollins the satisfaction. He's trying to put him away with a high-flying maneuver. And Jericho, the veteran, always knowing what to do in any kind of situation. Schoolboy super kick from Rollins to Jericho. Now Rollins running enziguri off the ropes. Now Jericho using the ropes to get back to his feet. Now Rollins with a pedigree to Chris Jericho. Wisely pulling Jericho away, shoots the half onto Jericho into the cover, and Rollins puts away Jericho. So at least within this rivalry, Rollins is 2-0 on Jericho. Delivers a pedigree, shoots the half into the cover. Elementary. 1, 2, 3. To put Jericho away. This is actually a universe episode, Rev. We're not doing a kind of impromptu matches. This is a show that we do here. Now we're into the main event, ladies and gentlemen. The Twitch TV Championship on the line. Falls count anywhere. Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler. A rematch from back at overtime where Ziggler retained the championship over championship's advantage. And Christian came out saying, no, we're not going to have it that way. And then decided to make this matchup instead of a Falls Count Anywhere match for the Twitch TV title. And this is indeed our main event. As the cocky as ever, Kevin Owens gets his second opportunity of the Twitch TV Championship after he defeated Ziggler initially a number of weeks ago. After Ziggler won the Twitch TV Championship in a triple threat match, the final bell against Cesaro and the current champion, or the champion at the time, Bray Wyatt. As Kevin Owens likes to proclaim his first championship gold here in RCW. Of course, Dolph Ziggler, one of the more hardest working competitors you will see anywhere in a 20x20 ring. One of the more underrated talents in WWE. Achieving success here in RCW. Took quite a while, but he's got it. Let's hope that Ziggler can hold on to the championship for a bit longer. Otherwise, for Kevin Owens, it's only a matter of time before he puts him in a pump-up powerbomb and his title reign is over. Of course, we've seen other great champions hold this title. The inaugural champion Samoa Joe will then lose the title to Cesaro back in November at Thanks for Nothing back at Thanks for Nothing. Then Wyatt would win the title at Hell on Earth in a Hell in a Cell match against Cesaro. And now we have Ziggler, the current Twitch TV champion. Current reigning and defending Twitch TV champion. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event of the evening. Twitch TV title on the line, rematch from overtime. As I could say, I guess you could say we're still in overtime since that matchup. This time it's false count anywhere, collar and elbow tie-up, and Ziggler pushes Jericho into the corner. The ref forcing a break. Surprisingly, Owens now electing to take a cheap shot at Ziggler, and this time it's Owens with a test of strength, shoving Ziggler into the corner. Now Ziggler unloading with right hands to Kevin Owens. Drop kick coming up empty now. Owens with a right hand and throwing Ziggler up and over the top rope. Since for whatever reason here in RCW, the trend seems to be count out victories, which is why we have a false count anywhere matchup. Series of matches been ending in count outs. And that's just unsportsmanlike if you ask me. Kevin Owens double leg takedown to the jackknife cover on Ziggler on the outside. And Ziggler able to kick out. This is called Reign of Chaos Wrestling RCW, and the name of the show is StrikeZone. You can look us up on YouTube under Tubas Flats YouTube channel and watch all the other shows. All the way back from October. As Ziggler gets introduced to the steel steps. As the crowd here in Anchorage is behind Dolph Ziggler in this championship contest. Rev, you might be getting your wish for a backstage brawl, because it looks like that's where these two boys are going. They're up on the stage now. I've never seen this before from any of our competitors. Kevin Owens had a hold of Ziggler. Now these two slam each other into the stage. And a knee from Kevin Owens. I'm trying to get a good position here, not achieving great success, but Kevin Owens unloading on Ziggler from what I could see. And now Ziggler taking it to Owens with a punch to the back of the head, then a low drop kick. And Ziggler with a low elbow to Kevin Owens. Now these two are just trading blows back and forth. Swing over DDT on the outside on the concrete from Kevin Owens. Kevin into the cover. As the ref's got to get in position, buying valuable time for Ziggler to kick out. And he does. Hell of a Falls Count Anywhere match already. Ziggler still able to continue to fight in this Falls Count Anywhere contest. This is the farthest we've ever seen competitors go out in this kind of match. Crowd here in Anchorage still behind Dolph Ziggler. And a back body drop onto the concrete to Dolph Ziggler. Now you hear the Kill Owens kill chants from the crowd. Falcon Arrow driver into the cover. As the ref's got to get in position again to buy time for Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler with a Dragon Screw takedown. Now Ziggler taking down the legs of Kevin Owens. Again, continuing to work on Kevin Owens. You would think with more of the more dangerous the environment, double leg takedown. The more dangerous environment, this would favor Kevin Owens. It seems to be working just fine for, oh my God, no. Package pile driver onto the concrete. Oh my God. Into the cover. Owens off the package pile driver. And Kevin Owens has dethroned Dolph Ziggler off the package pile driver onto the concrete. That I have not done, Rev. That is something to consider for this show and all the pay-per-views I have done in the past. And there you see, nope, that's the Falcon Arrow driver. You see the closing moments here momentarily. The package pile driver. The package pile driver from Kevin Owens to Dolph Ziggler. You can see the pain on the face of Dolph Ziggler. And Kevin Owens becomes the new RCW Twitch TV champion. Kevin Owens signaling it is now day one of the Kevin Owens show here on RCW. Ladies and gentlemen, a hell of a show for you here tonight. We will catch you next week right here on the Strike Zone. Have a good one.